Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Crowns here, coming at you finally with the Crowns 2.0 video. This is mainly just going to be an explanation about what Crowns 2.0 is, what it means for the channel moving forward, and also what it means for the people who have been following along with my journey, with my channel from the beginning. And I just thought it'd be a better, more long-winded approach to put this up as a YouTube video, especially to kick off the channel over there as well, with a little explanation of what's going to be going on with the channel moving forward. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first off, what is Crowns 2.0? For me, this is going to be a full dive into the world of streaming, content creation as a job. So for me, I've been very one foot in, one foot out. I know I've looked at streaming, I've looked at content creation as something I really enjoyed to do creatively, but not something that I was taking too seriously as a job or as a way to actually support myself. And that's going to be the biggest change moving forward. So for some context, I did want to go ahead and start with a little personal info on me, just for the individuals who may be new to the channel, new to my content, and or just people who had ever really come in contact with me but not actually known that much about me personally. So I am Canadian originally. I moved down to the States when I was young. I grew up here in Oregon primarily my whole life. I was always big into athletics, sports, video games, obviously. And video games was always one of those pathways that you could find different ways to compete within, which is something that I loved, especially coming from sports and being a former athlete. Professionally, I've always worked in sales. Most recently, I was the GSM at a high-end exotic dealership where we dealt in McLarens, Ferraris, all the really cool stuff that you would maybe see on TV. And it was a really cool job, and got to meet a lot of really cool people. But ultimately, I had decided that world and that industry just wasn't really for me. So at the end of 2019, I had went ahead and made the decision that I wanted to make a complete career shift into something like the world of tech sales, for example. Always been into tech, always been into anything related to that sort of industry, and I thought that it would be a nice, smooth transition to bring the sales career into that career. So right around this time, I'd also been thinking that, hey, if I was going to be making a huge, life-changing decision in terms of a career shift, that maybe I should consider where I've always wanted to live as well. And I think like many people who grow up in the U.S., I think at one point, sometimes for a lot of people, it moves through their head that they want to move to New York City. So that happened to me as well. And I was fortunate enough to actually go out and in the mid-February, late February 2020, find a job in tech sales in New York City. And it seemed like all my dreams were coming true. And then March happened. So I think we all have a pretty good idea of what happened in March. Needless to say, that job opportunity fell through for me. I had to put everything on hold like a lot of us did throughout our lives there. And streaming and competing in video games is something that really caught my attention while I found that I did have some free time. So that is initially how I got into content creation, streaming, competing within the world of video games firstly. And then just sort of as the process went on over the past 6 months that I've been doing this now, I really did find that I had a passion for creating, and I did have some creativity within me. So for me, this is really an extension of my plans, which were to move somewhere else, start a whole new career, doing something completely different, and having 6 months of runway left financially, and looking at this like hey, I've never done anything really half-assed. I've never really done, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So if this is something I enjoy doing, which it is, why not fully commit to Crowns 2.0 and the full-time content creation that's going to come out of this. So that's basically a general overview of what the 2.0 branding is going to look like for the channel. And kind of gives you some personal background on myself, and then also sort of lineage on how we got here and to this point, if that makes sense. So with that said, the Crowns 2.0 rebranding of the channel, it's going to be a three-pronged approach. So we're going to have Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, all of which I think are platforms that I've seen a ton of growth in, other than obviously the YouTube aspect, but definitely something that I'm looking to dip my feet into. But TikTok, for example, I've been extremely happy with the growth over there. I think we're up over 15,000 channel views now at this point. So I've been extremely happy with the growth over there. And then obviously my Twitch family, what can I say about the Twitch fam? I mean, all the connections I've made over on that platform have been insanely good. Even if there have been any negative ones or negativity, I mean, that's been cut out pretty fast. So I've been extremely happy about the community that I've built over there. So that said, as it pertains to Twitch, we're going to be daily streaming 6 to 8 hours with a sub goal of 5 a day. Now, I mean, as I'm sure you guys could probably know, even 5 subs a day is not going to be enough to financially sustain myself. And make this a financially sustainable future or path. But like I said, I do, just from the previous move, in terms of having finances saved up, I do have about 6 months of runway left on that. So this is just going to be our starting goal, as it pertains to Twitch, and as it pertains to being able to support myself through the channel in that way, if that makes sense. So YouTube is going to consist of 2 videos a week. I'm going to have goals set inside that as well. Initially, I'm going to hopefully search for 50 views a week. I'm hoping that there's enough support in the community throughout that we can get some retweets on the video, we can get some shares, we can get all the interactions up on that platform as well. And those are basically going to consist of I mean, my initial thought is either a really banger Warzone gameplay, and then maybe some Warzone highlights from the week or something like that. And then big shout out my guy Tilted, my man Jordan, gave me the idea of possibly doing a Cold War playthrough of the campaign mode. So I might, dabble in something like that as well for the channel. But the main importance for me is just going to be getting the consistency of content on that platform. So that's going to be 2 videos a week. So I'm thinking probably like a Wednesday and like a Saturday type video. But I haven't made any definite decision on that. Just know that obviously starting this Friday into next week, there's going to be 2 videos a week on that platform. And then TikTok, obviously being the third, that platform is going to consist of daily highlights. I'm at least posting 1 clip a day every single day. For me, this will be something super crazy, some banger clip that happened, whether I was playing BR, maybe in a tournament or whatever the case may be. And like I said, I've been extremely happy with the growth already on that channel, and that's been sort of the game plan over there. And it's really seemed like it's been working, and people are enjoying the content. So I think we're gonna stay strong with that. So from that, what will you guys get as subscribers? I think that's a very important question, especially for my Twitch subscribers, that people are actually paying money, taking money out of their pocket to go ahead and support me. And so for you guys, I want there to be a little added bonus for coming by and supporting the channel. So with that said, I am going to be doing fun monthly giveaways for subscribers on my Twitch channel, and then Obviously the level of content that we're going to be getting from the whole revamp of the channel, just in terms of emotes, notifications, stream overlays, everything is going to be heightened just that much more. Just so that when you guys come by, there's definitely more of a feeling of professionalism coming across the screen to you guys and coming into your homes. Just because if I am going to be taking something like this pretty seriously, then I want it to look that way on the other side of the screen, if that makes sense. For subs, viewers, etc., that is going to be the main point that I'm going to hit home. For the people who are supporting just by viewing, that sort of thing, I mean, you're just going to get a higher quality of content as it pertains to mainly what I just hit on. So stream organization, schedule, gameplay, and then being interactive with the chat, if that makes sense. So just in terms of organization, meaning that you're never going to see me away from my setup and just in an empty chair, and you might pop into stream and not know what's going on. There's always going to be a be right back, or some sort of a semblance of an idea of what's going on, again, just to add a little more to the professionalism within the stream. Schedule. This is something that I think is super important. I think especially for a lot of smaller streamers, it can get hectic, and I completely understand, especially with work and maybe babysitting kids or whatever the case may be for a lot of smaller streamers. But schedule is hard to be consistent on, so that's something that I will be consistent on. And if anything changes, just make sure to follow me on Twitter. That way I can go ahead and update you guys if we do have a schedule change. But for now, it will be every single day, unless said otherwise, from noon Pacific to about 8 p.m., somewhere in there. Gameplay. This is something that's super important to me. I take a lot of pride in this. Ask anybody that pops into my stream and talks to me about this. But I want you guys as viewers to come into the stream and, enjoy what you're watching and see a high level of gameplay. That's my goal and what I'm trying to bring to you guys. So, I mean, you're never going to see me in a Battle Royale, Warzone style situation, with 4 kills, crouching around with, 20 people left. No matter what time you come into the stream, I want you guys to come in, enjoy your time, obviously enjoy the chat, but gameplay is super important because, I mean, that is the... other than myself, that is the main part of the show. So I want that to be at a high level, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that. But I want to get better, and I'm going to be more consistent with the high level of gameplay. And then lastly, the interaction. So I think for viewers who pop into chat, subs, anybody who's trying to interact, I mean, there's nothing worse than popping into a streamer's chat, saying something, and then they just don't even notice you. And the same goes for my other platforms, YouTube, TikTok. If you've been following me on TikTok, you'll know I try to like every single comment that I get. I try to comment back on every single comment. YouTube will be the same way, and then ultimately, obviously, the interaction in the live chat on Twitch itself will be there as well. I mean, I don't feel like I've ever had a real problem with talking to people in my Twitch chat and that sort of thing. But it's going to be me doubling down and getting a little extra sensitive to that as well, if that makes sense. So piggybacking off of what you guys will be getting as subs, as viewers, as people who like the video, anybody supporting, the question comes to, what could you do to support this channel, to support me along this process? This will be my full-time job. This will be something that I'm stepping into and committing to fully, and will be the only way that I'm going to support myself. So obviously things like subs, donations, etc., especially on the live stream, those will always be welcome. I'm extremely appreciative. I cannot even I cannot even begin to explain how appreciative I am when somebody decides to spend their hard earns on my channel, my content, and to help support the community that we're trying to grow. I mean, it's absolutely insane. That said, I don't think people hit home on this point hard enough. There are so many ways to support the channel that are completely free. Liking and commenting on a YouTube video, sharing it with your friends, liking, commenting on a TikTok, sharing a TikTok, coming into stream, just being interactive with people who are in chat, so they feel the need or they feel the want to come back to the chat and interact just because it was a cool environment to be in. There's so many things that you can do to support creators that are absolutely free, and I definitely wanted to mention that as it pertains to how you could support me, because a huge point of this channel is just going to be growth over the next 6 months. Seeing as this is something that I'm looking to take full time, and obviously grow. So that this can become more sustainable. So sometimes, I mean, it's almost going to be even more important, or I sincerely ask for your guys' help in this area, just in terms of the little things that you can do that are obviously completely free. So I think I've rambled long enough. In conclusion, I think this is a pretty scary decision. I would say. Obviously, I have the fortunate position of having about 6 months of financial runway left that I was planning on using for something else completely different. But in a way, I mean, this is a complete career shift as well for me, and I do see the benefit in allocating the funds for this. But ultimately, like I said, it's scary. I mean, this isn't like any other sort of business that I've typically been a part of. I mean, I'm not selling a good. I'm literally having to sell myself, and hope that people enjoy the content, enjoy the stream, enjoy the personality enough to get on board, to want to support, and to want to see this thing be successful. And again, that's just something that's unique about content creation, is that no matter how big you get, ultimately it's the ones who support, and it's the ones who come by, and talk and chat and like videos and share and comment, that really end up making or breaking you. So it is a scary jump, but that said, I think we have a good enough plan in place. I think we're going to be bringing a high enough level of content that enough of a community is going to gravitate towards what we're doing over here, towards the type of content that we're providing for people, and that definitely does give me some sense of calm. I also do think it's super important, and I know a lot of creative types hit home on this sort of point all the time, but I think it's important to hear it from me as well. For me, I never even thought that this was something that I was really going to enjoy doing or love doing, until I actually stepped into this world and started doing it, and I think it's super important that, you don't quiet down your passions, or, or not do something that you really love doing, just because maybe it's not the most financially sustainable or whatever it is. I also think that there's just a huge problem right now with people having goals, aspirations, and just not going for it. And I think that's a hugely important sort of way to live your life that I feel like a lot of people are putting to the side, especially because of the times that we're in. So for me, this is an extremely, transitionary period in my life. I thought it would be the best time to go ahead and dive into this process full time, and stop stop not listening to my hopes and dreams or making excuses about why I thought it wouldn't work out. That's the beautiful thing about life. You can always go out and try things, whether you succeed or fail. It doesn't really matter. You just have to get up there. You have to try. Otherwise you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. And so ultimately that's what Crowns 2.0 is about for me. It's something that I think was scary to think about doing, but ultimately felt like in my heart the right decision, and I felt like I have a good enough base of supporters around me right now to where I could go ahead and bring the content that you guys deserve, as well as stepping into something that I felt like I was really passionate about. So again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I know it's a little bit of a long-winded video, but I did, again, want to basically explain what this whole process is, what Crowns 2.0 is. Hopefully that gives you a better idea of what the channel is going to look like moving forward. And if you guys do have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. If you guys do have time, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and share it as well. If you guys could take the time, I'm going to go ahead and tweet this video out as well. If you could go ahead and share it, it would be massive to me. I'm trying to reach as many people and gain as much of an audience at this stage in my beginning as possible, and I would really appreciate it. With that said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everyone's support thus far, and I'm extremely excited to see what the future of Crowns 2.0 brings. I will talk to you guys very soon. Peace.